Right now, the fintech company Plaid is in the middle of a $58 million class action settlement. I want to go over the details behind this class action settlement. We're going to review a couple of the legal documents. I'm going to go over to the class action website, and then we're going to see who's actually impacted and how you can submit a claim if you are an impacted user. So now let's not waste any time. You can see here I'm on the Reuters website here, and the headline is FinTech firm Plaid agrees to $58 million deal to end the privacy case. Now, what is this privacy case? What's going on with Plaid? Because it seems like they got themselves into a little bit of trouble. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. So the first paragraph says, Plaid Inc. has agreed to pay $58 million to resolve consumers' claims that the fintech company obtained and used bank account credentials and financial information without consent. You've seen me on this website before. This is Plaid. If you're not familiar with Plaid, Plaid is one of the most popular fintech companies, and their role in this financial space has been to make it very easy for you and your bank account to connect to a third-party app or to another financial institution. So if you went out to eat with your friend and you wanted to Venmo them back $50 that they spent on dinner for you, what you can do, you can download apps like Cash App, Venmo, there's a whole bunch of them. You can get your personal information and your bank account, and then you can have it connected to Venmo so that Venmo can send your friend the $50. Plaid is basically the middleman that connects you and your bank account to apps and softwares like Venmo. So that's their role. So many financial institutions have adopted this software into their platforms that this is why it's getting a little bit shaky. So now let's jump back over to the article and let's read more what's going on. So let me scroll down a little bit more. So you can see here in the highlighted portion, the plaintiffs alleged in their lawsuit that Plaid has exploited its position as middleman to obtain app users' banking login credentials and use that information to gain access to and sell their transaction history without users knowing about Plaid's role due to alleged deceptive tactics. So you can see here, this is a very serious allegation. The next paragraph says the California judge, they actually dismissed some of the claims in this case, but they did allow others to proceed, and the proposed settlement will resolve claims for invasion of privacy, unjust enrichment, and violation of California's anti-phishing law, among others. So again, you can see here, this is a very serious allegation, and for all of us that want to be very secure with how we handle our personal information and our banking information, we need to know what's going on in the industry. So that's exactly why I'm doing this video. So now let's jump over to the settlement docs. Plaid has agreed to pay $58 million to create a non-reversionary settlement fund for the benefit of class members. And I'm going to go over in about 1 minute. I'm going to go over who the class members are, and you can figure out very easily if you are among the class members. And if you are among the class members, then you can go ahead and submit your claim in this class action settlement, who will receive a claims-made pro rata payment after the deduction of settlement-related costs, including the expenses of the settlement admin and the cost of notice to the class, any named plaintiff service awards, attorney fees, and expense reimbursements, and any other costs approved by the court. So basically what this means is Plaid has to pay $58 million in this class action settlement. However, you already know that the attorneys and everybody affiliated doing the documentation and the administration, they're going to have their hands in the cookie jar first, and whatever's left over is going to be dispersed to everyone else. That's pretty much what they're saying here. All right, so now let's go to the next page. So on this website, this is plaidsettlement.com. So if you were looking to submit a claim and you wanted to know how to do so, this is the website that you would need to check out. And all of these links and all of these websites that you see me going back and forth from, I'm going to put that in the description so you can easily just go ahead and click. So as I go on the homepage, you can see the important dates. And I want to read just a couple of sentences here that I think are very important. So let me just highlight this sentence here. And even though they're going ahead with this settlement, Plaid denies these allegations and any wrongdoings and maintains that it adequately disclosed and maintained transparency about its practices to consumers. So even though Plaid is agreeing to pay this $58 million settlement, they're still denying that they did anything wrong. So how do you know if you are a class member? How do you know if you are an impacted party and you have the ability to submit a claim for this settlement? But basically, for time's sake, if you've used any app between January 1st, 2013 and November 19th, 2021, if you've used any software or any app that has used Plaid within those 2 years, you may be a class member. And you may be asking, how do I know which app or which software use Plaid. Maybe I wasn't paying attention on my phone. I just hit accept, and I don't know if it was Plaid or not. So you can click here, right below it. And one way to find out is here on the search box. So let's say, for example, Webull. So I know Webull uses Plaid. Like I said before, I believe it was Venmo. Venmo uses them. I think Chime uses them. So you can see here there are tons of different companies that have used Plaid. Again, if you're not sure, just check this box right here that says search for app service. Put that name here, and more than likely, if you've been downloading different apps, different financial apps, you probably have an app on your phone that has used Plaid within those dates. Okay, so now how do we submit a claim? So if you hit submit a claim, this is also going to be very simple. Now at the time of this recording, this is January 2022, some people have said that they've received a notice in the mail, or they gotten an email that provided them a notice ID as well as a confirmation code. So if you are somebody that has already received something in the mail about this class action settlement, you can just take that information, put that in here, and hit submit, right? It's going to be very simple. If you have not received anything in the mail, you can hit this second button right here, and you're going to have to put in your personal information. You're going to have to put in the name of the financial institution that you're banking with. So you might put Chase in here, right? What's the app that you use that connected the financial accounts? You can say Webull. And then what was the date, right? So pick the date that you use the app, and then there you go. And just try to put in as much information as possible. Once you scroll down, you're going to have to select the method of how you would like to get paid if they do go ahead and send you out any funds. And if you've been a part of any class action settlement, I think the last one that I've been a part of, I think the last time they sent me a check for like 75 cents. There really is no way to figure out what the amount would be if they do in fact send you anything. But either way, you're going to have to select PayPal, Venmo, or direct deposit. Then you're going to have to put your signature here and then hit submit. So that's basically it. That's how you go ahead and you submit your claim for this class action settlement. There was a pretty cool website that I came across as I was doing my research, and it's frequentmiler.com. And they went over the same topics that I went over, but I noticed towards the bottom, right here, and this may or may not be directly correlated with the issues that are going on with Plaid. This guy here said when he tried to connect to Plaid on his backed account, that Plaid went ahead and gave him some additional pop-ups that we haven't really seen before. You can see here they're trying to be more transparent. So if you do try to connect your bank account to these different apps, you're now going to have to opt in order for Plaid to be able to share your information with these third-party companies. So the first box says, if this checkbox is selected, account ownership, name, primary address, email, phone number will be shared with the authorized third party. Statements, if this checkbox is selected, all of your checking, savings, mortgage, home equity lines of credit, loan, brokerage, and credit card statements will be shared with the authorized third party as they become available online. And in my opinion, this is where I think it got a little bit sticky for Plaid. So if we're going ahead and we are connecting our bank accounts to these third party companies, who's to say that they're not going to be able to see how often we deposit into that bank account, or how often we withdraw from that bank account, and all these other types of consumer behaviors? Do I want these third-party companies to be able to see all that? So again, right here, you can see that there is a checkbox for this. If you go ahead and you hit this checkbox, you are now giving Plaid the permission to be able to send your personal information as well as certain behavior. So again, now they're telling you straight up what it is that they may or may not be sending over to the third party. So if you plan on connecting to any sort of app on your phone, make sure that you're paying attention to the boxes that you're checking off on. I know everyone's in a rush. Don't just hit yes, 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 submit. Pay attention to everything that you're signing off on. And then lastly here, auto connect new accounts. Please connect any newly opened accounts or newly eligible information automatically with Plaid. So again, this is going to be a very great area. As you continue to go in the future, more and more fintech companies are going to be coming into this space. We're going to have to deal with how information is being spread and disseminated from one company to the next. I did a video on Experian Boost last year, and in that video I discussed how I wasn't really a fan of having to give my bank account over to the credit bureaus, because I felt like it's almost like you're tempting these companies. Right now we understand that your data, your personal information, your consumer behavior, how much you carry from day to day in any of your bank accounts. All of this type of information is so valuable for these large companies, because at that point, if they know how much you keep in your bank account, how much you deposit or withdraw from your bank account, they know exactly how much you can qualify for their loan. They know which loan that you can't qualify for, because all of your personal information is gold in the eyes of these big banks and these big companies. All of that data they can do something with. They know how to solicit. They know how to sell you on products. They know not to even waste time trying to solicit you products that you may not even be able to qualify for. So your information and your spending habits are now being spread around more easily than ever before. And also remember this: if you ever want your bank account to be authorized to be used for other products, let's say for Coinbase or Webull, there are other ways to do it without using Plaid. You can have it set up so that Coinbase deposits two very small amounts to your checking account, and then you can log into your online banking by yourself, or you can call your bank, find out what those two deposits were, and then go back into Coinbase and then verify it that way. So there's always going to be some workarounds, but just remember, as technology becomes more and more widespread, we got to just pay attention to what we're signing up for. And if we can just have more information, if we can just be more aware of what's going on in this industry, I think we'll be better off for it. So that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on this video. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to go ahead and do so. Hit the bell notification. Let me know if you received an email or you received a card in the mail to go ahead and submit your claim. So give me some information, give me some feedback, and I'm going to check you out in the next video. Peace.